Hello everyone. I've heard you guys are learning about Chinese New Year. So we are going to be making a craft, a lantern. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Chinese New Year, which we celebrate in our house. So let's get started with what you need. You are going to need two pieces of paper, one yellow and one red. Red and gold are considered very auspicious or good luck colors in China and throughout most of Asia. You're also going to need some scissors. They don't have to be this big. A pencil, always useful to have. A black pen, or could be just any kind of pen, but black is probably the best, and a glue stick or some glue. So, first things first, we're gonna get our stuff ready. So what we're gonna need first is, this is a little bit too big. So first we're gonna fold down the edge a little bit so that it is shorter than the red piece. I don't know if you can see that. Like this, it's shorter, okay? And then you can leave it like that, but it'll work a little bit better if you cut that off. Okay, so we're going to cut that off as our first bit of preparation for our lantern. So did you know that in China, Chinese New Year is one of the most important holidays, but it's not typically called New Year's, it's called Spring Festival. Okay, and it is a big holiday, and people travel home to be with their relatives, sometimes from very far away. It's very important to get together with family. And so this year, Chinese New Year's will last for 15 days. It always lasts for about 2 weeks. And it will, okay, so let's stop. This is a little bit too long. Okay, so this one we needed to make shorter, and this one we need to cut off this part. Okay, so I folded that over. Okay, and then we're going to cut that off, and that's actually going to be our handle. So make sure you keep that red piece. Okay, and so I am actually going to use this to label my lantern, okay, with my name. So I'm going to write my name with my black pen. And I'm actually going to put on a symbol of happiness, okay, for the coming year. And this is actually up on my wall behind me. This is a symbol for double happiness. So the happiness symbol, and you have to be pretty careful when you do this, because you have to have the right number of pieces. There are thousands of different characters to use to write Chinese, okay? And so in order to read a newspaper, you have to know about 10,000 different characters. It's very different than an alphabet, which for us only has 26 characters. So this should be double happiness. Okay, so I would like happiness in the new year. So you do not have to do that if you want. Okay, you can just write your name, you can scribble a picture. Remember, this is your lantern, but it is good to label it somehow. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is take your red piece. Now remember, this, they kind of look like this together. So one is going to be a little shorter this way, and one is a little shorter this way. Okay? So now we're going to take our red piece and we're going to fold what we have in half the long way. Okay? So hot dog instead of hamburger, I've heard it referred to. So the long way we're going to fold in half like that. Okay? And it doesn't have to be a real sharp fold, because we actually aren't going to use this. We're going to unfold it later. But the next ones have to be a little bit sharper. So we're going to fold these ends in just a little bit. So I'm going to take 2 of my fingers. You can use 2 of yours, or 3 because my fingers are kind of big. And I use about that and fold that in. And that is going to be the very top of our lantern, which would be this part up here. Okay, and then the bottom part of the lantern is going to be here. So same thing, about 2 fingers and fold and try and make it straight. It's okay if you gotta redo it, that's totally fine. Okay, and now lanterns are really important. As I said, the New Year's festival is actually 15 days. So the first day is really the day before New Year's, on New Year's Eve. You get together with your family for a reunion dinner and you clean the house. You want to sweep out all the bad luck, because for the next 2 weeks you're not supposed to clean at all. It's bad luck to clean during New Year's, the Spring Festival. So from the first so the first day of New Year's is actually going to be February 1st, and then the last day is February 15th, and that is the Lantern Festival. So these are made, or there's lots of different shapes of lanterns, and these are made to symbolize good luck in the new year, to symbolize a rebirth for the new year, and to be a different person. What if you want to be more caring or more sharing or more adventurous? That's what that lantern's going to symbolize. It's interesting because this year it's the day after Valentine's Day, and the Lantern Festival actually used to be kind of like Valentine's Day for people of a certain age. They would go out and look for a potential partner, usually accompanied by their brothers or sisters or their family. So Lantern Festival has a long history. So these are actually lanterns for the Lantern Festival. If you've ever been to the Chinese New Year parade in San Francisco, that's actually held on the Lantern Festival day. And this coming year is going to be the year of the tiger. Okay, so most of you, do you know what year you were born in? I was born in the year of the dragon, and a lot of you were probably also born in the year of the dragon, because 2012 was the year of the dragon. But if you were born before February, you may, if you have an earlier birthday, you may actually have been born in the year of the rabbit. But most of you are either going to be rabbits or dragons. I'm a dragon too. But I have lots of friends who are rabbits, and they're awesome too. So now what we're going to do is, with our lantern, we are going to decorate it. You do not have to do this, but I'm going to write that I wish for good luck. Good luck, peace, peace, be good if I spelled it right, peace and health. And happiness and hope. And you can do whatever kinds of decorations you want to do. So I am doing some swirls, but you can do anything you want. Okay? But you may want to leave the ends because we may have to glue those down. Okay? So don't write on this middle part, just write on the edges. Okay? Now we're going to do all these cool splits. Okay? So you can make, these are very narrow. They're about the size of this pencil in width. But you could do thicker ones like the size of the pen. It's up to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to refold this over. And I am actually going to take, this is going to be a little bigger than the other one. So I'm going to, you could use a ruler and be very precise. This is about 1 centimeter, so I'm going to make these 1 centimeter apart. You could do 1/2 centimeter, you could do inches, whatever, just be regular about how you make these little marks. And those are going to be your guide for when we use our scissors. And my washing machine is making a lot of noise, so we have dramatic sound effects. So in our house, when we do Chinese New Year or Spring Festival, we have Leah's dad and a lot of his relatives come over the day before New Year's Day So that would be like New Year's Eve, which this year will be January 31st. And we have a big dinner, and it's a lot of cooking, and we have to have a certain number of dishes in order for it to be good luck. We usually have 10 different dishes, and we always have noodles and lots of round things because those are all for good luck. And a lot of times people will give each other oranges because those are considered a sign of wealth because they're golden and they're round. So now you can see what I've been doing is I've been using the marks to cut all the way up here, but not past this line. If you go a little bit past, that's fine, but you don't want to go all the way to the end or your lantern's going to fall apart. Okay, so again, I line the scissors up with my little mark, and then I keep on cutting. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. Mine are not all quite the same length, but the same width. But that's life. It's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Another interesting thing is you may have noticed that Chinese New Year's doesn't always seem to be on the same day. Like regular New Year's is always January 1st. It's like because we have a solar calendar that depends on the sun. But in a lot of places, they have a lunar calendar that measures time by the moon. And the traditional Chinese calendar that's used all over Asia is a lunar calendar. And so the lunar calendar only has 354 days in it because the moon takes about 29 and a half days to go around the Earth completely in a full cycle. And so, because of that, so there, I've got all of my cuts, and they're not all exact, but that is okay. Oh, I think I actually wrote on the wrong side, but that's okay. You can, it might actually work better if you write on this side, then it'll be rounder. So you know what? I'm going to redo it. I made a mistake. I got to redo it. Grown-ups make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. So good luck, peace, and health. And then what did I write on the bottom? What did I write on the bottom? Hope and happiness and hope. So these are my wishes for the new year. And then I think I did some swirls. Not as complicated as swirls. Okay. So the reason it's better on this side is then it'll be a little bit rounded, but a little dent on the inside. So that's how this one turned out, that there's a little dent. If you do it the other way, there's going to be this weird line. It's not going to look as good. So I changed. It's okay to admit sometimes you make mistakes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our glue stick. And anyway, so lunar years are different, and they kind of have to be moved around a little bit every year because of those missing 10 days. And so that's why Chinese New Year shifts back and forth around a 10-day period. Every year, it's not always the same exact day on the regular, what's called Gregorian calendar. Okay, so you're going to take the top, which for me says good luck. And we're going to put lots of glue with our glue stick on that. And you're going to line that up with the edge, and there's going to be some missing length, and that is okay. That's what we want. So you can see that lines up, and there's this left over, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. Okay, lots of glue, stick it down. Okay, and now you might need help for this because you might need something that weighs something. So I am going to take some slime that Leah's made that's heavy and put that down here to make sure it doesn't move around too much. And actually, no, first, after I've done this, I am going to roll this up very loosely just to sort of train it into rolling. It's going to make it easier for later. So like that. It's just going to make it easier to roll later. Now I'm going to put my weight on here. And if you have a friend help you with this, the friend will work better than the weight. So it's a good way to ask for a partner to help you. Okay, and then we're going to put on the back side here, we're good. Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually do it on the yellow. I think it would be easier, and you can see it because of the purple. So we're going to put lots of glue down here. And then we're going to move this up, and you're going to kind of, it may be a little bit funky, but it's going to work. And press, 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 press against the glue, and hopefully you've used lots of glue. And then just push this up a little bit, and you'll have a tunnel. Hooray! Okay, and now this is what it should look like. You should have your top of your lantern and the bottom of your lantern like this. Okay, and now we're going to carefully roll this up. Actually, no, first put some glue here on this leftover piece of yellow. This is what's going to help our lantern glue together and stay like a cylinder. Okay, so see, the glue's coming off. If you're very nice to Maestra Leon, she might end up letting you use a stapler. If not, just keep on trucking. So you're gonna fold this around and glue sticks, why have you failed me? Eek. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Okay. See, it's okay if you have problems. Somehow it will all work out. So press this down as best you can. If you have access to a stapler, you may want to try stapling the edges. If not, just try and sit there and let the glue sort of dry a little bit. If you need more glue, you need more glue. You can even cheat and use tape. Tape, as you know, is my friend. But, oh, there we go. So, if it stays and the glue doesn't fail me, there we've got our lantern, which at the moment is upside down. Haha. So there's our lantern. Okay. And so you can see this one is a little different. If you do really thin pieces, it's going to look like this. If you do thicker ones, it's going to look like this. And if you have a electric candle at home, do not use actual fire. But if you have an electric, you can put it inside, and the lantern should glow at least a little bit. But now we're going to take that red strip that has your name on it, okay, and then next to your name, more glue, or staples, or tape, or whatever you're using that can actually stick things together. More washing machine sound effect, dramatic sound effects. Okay, and then I'm going to stick the glue side inside, and this side inside, and now I have my handle. I'm not going to actually hold it by the handle until the glue dries, but there is our lantern, okay, with our wishes for the new year. So happy Chinese New Year, Gong Hai Fa Choi, which I don't say correctly, but I try. Okay, but have a happy new year, and many wishes for a great year of the tiger. Bye.